Says day after anniversary and Rocky Dawoodi. Thank you for coming out of your hideout Corona times to be with us.
Yes.
And we'll be interviewing him later on. So if you have any questions for him, let us know with the hashtag Breakfast Daily and the WhatsApp line 0550-585832. If you're outside Ghana, just use the country code +233. We'll ask him for you.
Yeah. Well, we're going to be talking money this morning, finances and relationships. This is the relationship segment. And we've been joined by Michael Mesa, who happens to be one of the panelists on the Fam Life show on City 97.3 FM. And good morning, Michael. How are you doing?
Good morning.
It's good to have you here.
Yeah, good to be here as well.
You look really happy.
Yeah, I'm happy. Thank God it's Friday.
Okay.
What do you do on Fridays?
Oh, a few things, and at least I make sure that I end the day well.
Okay.
Yeah, with family. We usually hang out in the evenings on Friday.
Okay.
Wow.
That adds to making it a wonderful day.
Okay.
So big ups to the
Super.
M clan, wherever they are.
Really, I'm watching you right now.
You see you.
So, this issue of finances,
Yes.
to disclose or not to disclose?
Yeah.
And if you're going to disclose, how much do you disclose?
Yeah, that's a very important question and a very important aspect of any relationship. You know, basically people start linking up and then they get committed with the intention or expectation of getting married.
Yeah.
Now it's a process. So as the process develops and now you get into courtship, that is serious business. You are working out to see if you can get married. So then disclosure is necessary. But disclosure is always on a progressive basis. You don't just start, let's even start from an aspect of your life. If you have a physical or health condition, you don't just tell a person on the platonic, basic level of just dating. But when you get into the more serious dimension of courtship, you would need to bring these things up. So similarly with finance, what you do, how you earn your money, but the person does not necessarily need to know how much you earn. But as you get closer and now you realize, I know this thing is going to work towards marriage, you maybe firmed up your date for marriage and stuff, then more things need to be shared abroad and for the other party to know. And then you both be on the same page.
But at what point do you say we're going to have this conversation, and what mindset should you have going in? And to our viewers as well, if you have any questions about how to handle these conversations in your relationships, or you have any tips for us to share, let us know with the hashtag Breakfast Daily and the WhatsApp line 0550-585832. If you're outside Ghana, the country code is +233. So when is the right timing, and what expectations should you have going
The
into
right time is always relative.
Okay.
Because meanings, we always say in communication, are in people. And people express differently. There are some people who, when they get to know too early, now start making demands, particularly if they think things are okay. When you are beginning the courtship process, and you're getting to draw close to each other, you begin to realize the kind of person you are getting drawn to. There are those who are always demanding, and there are those who are often always giving. So if you are getting connected to somebody who is a demanding person, then the more he or she knows, the more demands they will make, particularly when what they get to know is a good one. So before you get to disclosing a lot more, you must be certain that this person I am connected to is the kind of person I would want to have for a spouse. Because as you start courting, more of the person will begin to show on both sides. So when those things are clear and you think that yes, it is worth going a little further, then you can start sharing a little more the details of your job, but closely to marriage, that is when you're going to have the traditional marriage as the engagement or something, then you can now talk about how much you earn and stuff. But if you bring that in too quickly, it may create troubles, particularly for those who don't have the ability to manage it. And there are those who are also out only to get what they can get. So though they say they are committed to you, they actually are not. You know, because there are two things that are in any relationship: the intentions and the expectations. And intentions are often hidden. So how do you determine why I'm coming into a relationship? Maybe for you, you want a long haul, you want a marriage, you want something for life. But somebody is coming in, wants the benefit, they see the trappings of life, and that's what they are looking for. So when they get to know that, oh, this guy is in a good job, his take home is around this amount, then they are having all the fancy ideas, oh, we can go for holidays every year. So say the person may not be looking for marriage, even though you are courting.
Yeah.
So it's very important that you progress in the courtship, and then based on the feedback you are getting, the person's posturing, what they ask for, how they position themselves, how they give back, then you can bring them into those details.
What's your take on joint accounts?
Joint accounts before marriage, no.
Okay.
Because you see, courtship is not marriage.
Yeah.
And so oftentimes that's all the mistake people make. Because oftentimes people are physically intimate. They think that then there's everything. But marriage is a concerted agreement of two, together with the state and their religious persuasion and the family, that these two have decided to set themselves apart to go on a journey. So there's a legal implications, there's a spiritual implication, and also there is the emotional and family implication. So when you are courting, you are not married. It can be a day before marriage and the courtship can end. But when you are married now the two of you have become one legally, the two of you have become one spiritually, the two of you have become one as the family sees it. So now that's the time for you to share all things. But as to whether you should have a joint account or not, depends on the two. For some people, it doesn't work out fine for them because you may have a spender and a saver.
Yeah.
And that will create a lot of trouble. So what you should do as a basis is what is comfortable for you. But at least it's helpful to discuss, to know what will work. But definitely there must be a way you have a convergence of resources, either in a joint account or in everybody contributing to a potty, or a kitty where you share something together. So that's what I'll say on that. Yeah.
How transparent should both partners be? Because again, people have expectations of what their partner should be, and even your character traits, you don't reveal everything.
Yes.
So let's say I'm in debt. I have poor spending habits, but then my partner has this perception of me. So I'm trying to ensure that he does not walk away from the relationship if he discovers all these things. How do we handle that?
This is critical disclosure. We have the necessary disclosures and the critical disclosures. This is a critical disclosure because you are coming into the courtship and finally into the marriage with all you are, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And so as you get closer, it's necessary for the person to know everything as much as possible, like we spoke about, the progressive nature of it. Yeah. Because if you bring that debt, it may haunt and hurt the relationship from the onset. And that will be creating a mistrust, which will hurt the union, because trust is one key element in any relationship. And so if you hold back such critical information from the other party, that's not helpful. As to how you spend your spending habits, the person would obviously discover it as you're going. But if you have debt, you are in some heavy mortgage, you've made some losses, it's incumbent on you to let the other person know. Similarly to any health conditions that will affect the relationship. Those are critical information which you should not hold back on.
And how important is empathy when you're having this conversation? Because this is me, bearing my heart out, telling you the reality. Yes. On the other side, how should the partner also empathize, even if that's not how they've been raised to
If your spouse to be or your partner is somebody you want to spend the rest of your life with, then due consideration is key. Unfortunately, not everybody has learned how to manage disagreements, disapprovals, or disconcerting information. But it's key that you must be empathetic because the person is opening themselves up. Love makes us vulnerable. You can't have meaningful relationships without a degree of vulnerability. Yeah. Because if you are very uptight and very cautious of yourself and you are not letting out what you should, then you don't have a relationship. There will be too many ifs and buts. So it's necessary to bring it out. And the other party who is on the receiving end of hearing you out must first be considerate to hear you out fully and to not be judgmental. And then finally, they need to make a decision. What we often fear will come back and hurt us. So if you bring it out and he or she is uncomfortable and they want to work out, that's why I said courtship is not marriage. Allow them to go. Because if they can't have the ability to deal with it, it will come back and hurt you big. But if you are married, marriage is a different scenario. Then now you need to work it out. Because not everybody has the ability, the threshold to handle situations. There are some people who freeze under difficulty. There are some people who are so prim and proper They plan their life to the T. And so if they are connected to a spontaneous guy who is a big spender, who is in big debt, they can't handle it. But once it's in marriage, they must manage the dimensions and go through counseling and necessary help. But once it's before marriage, you must bring it out and give the other party the choice to decide whether, oh, I love you so much that, look, sweetheart, we can work this out.
Yeah.
Or we can't work it out. So that's
All
what
right,
I
so
say.
our viewers have been sending messages. We have one here. Please, I want to know if it's right to put your wife in charge of finances at home. This is Evans from Adeso.
Yes, I mean, you see, the thing about relationships is that it's a two-way thing. If that works for you, like we said, there are some people who are very good managers, and there are others who are not. So if you find that your wife is a good manager and can handle the resources well, it's your money. It's not like some people say that the man's money is our money, the woman's money is her money. But all the money is your money. So if she's a good manager of the resources and you guys can agree on how you're going to spend it, that's okay. That's what I would say.
Yeah.
Well, let's talk about, you know, people who naturally make projections. So let's say I'm coming into the relationship or the marriage. This is where I currently am. Maybe I have just 100 cedis in my wallet, but I feel like my partner will be disappointed. So let me say in a month, 2 months, I'll get 1,000 cedis, I'll get 2,000 cedis. And then they now feel deceived, but I'm not trying to deliberately mislead them. I'm just making projections of better days. And how does that mess with the relationship when the partner finally feels like when we had that conversation, you disclosed projections and not the reality?
Yes. So if there are projections, let your partner know they are projections. You know, there's nothing more painful than deception in any relationship.
Yeah.
Because when you give half-truths, you twist the information just to make it appear as you think your spouse or your partner will want it to appear. That's misleading. Because when they then find out later, they get disappointed. And sometimes that rather leads to more negative consequences. If you have 100, come out with it. This 100 I have, I'm expecting A, B, C, maybe a total of 2,000 from these sources within this time frame.
Yeah.
If it doesn't happen, you never lied. But if it doesn't happen, and you said I have 2,000, when you actually had 100, you've misled your partner. And so maybe your projections and your plans will be made on the 2,000, when in actual fact, the bed you have in hand is just 100. So it's good to disclose.
How do you deal with a situation where, as Jafar was asking, so you projected that you're expecting, say, 2,000 on the 15th day of June, right? Now, you disclose that, okay? But when the person your partner listened to you, they took it that that money is almost like it's banked, you see. So come the 15th, the person who makes the promise, who has made the promise to you that you're getting this 2,000, defaults. When the person defaults, you come out clear and say, listen, it didn't happen, person defaulted, I'm now getting a new date for when it will come in. But you become almost like, I'm disappointed in you.
Yeah, there are two kinds of disappointment. This one is disappointment on something not happening, not disappointment because you lied. And so we need to get that straight. People vary in their threshold of handling discomfort, disappointment, and pain. So somebody, for the fact that it didn't come, will get disappointed. But that is not negative in the sense that you are still trustworthy. You are communicating truth. So though she's disappointed the money is not available, or he's disappointed the money is not available, they cannot be disappointed that you lied to them. And so that gives you a better playing field to be able to next time say, once it comes in, we would have it.
Okay.
You know, so sometimes people are selective in hearing, that's one. Sometimes people are not good hearers. Once she heard the money, she assumed it's there. But that point, they can't blame you for misleading them. They can only say, I heard wrongly. So that's part of the thing. Always being truthful helps to concretize the relationship, and it makes it easy for all other areas. Because if you can't be faithful or sincere in communicating your money matters, how would she or he trust you when you say you are next door when actually you are 5 doors away? So, you know, trust and communication in sincerity is key. And in fact, whether you're in the courtship stage or whether you're in marriage.
Fantastic. Thank you very much.
Any last tips for couples who are considering having this conversation, things they should know before they get into their conversation?
Okay, the first thing is that courtship is not marriage.
Okay.
The second thing is that when you are communicating, be open.
Okay.
The third thing is that know yourselves well enough to know how you expose or tell your spouse or your partner about the things you need to know. Because when the person is not ready and you give them such information, sometimes they rather misapply it or use it against the betterment of the union. And then in the end, you both lose. That's what I say.
Thank you. We've been speaking with Michael Mensah, who's been helping us to understand the challenges of disclosing or not disclosing financial matters to your partner.